Chloridane is an organochlorine compound formerly used as a pesticide in the United States until it was banned by the EPA in 1988 when it was determined to be a persistent organic pollutant. The chemical was used as an insecticide for agriculture and for termite removal in homes and businesses. Chloridane can affect humans and animals through inhalation exposure or through crops harvested in contaminated soils. A few of the physical and chemical properties are shown. A few to highlight are the solubility is extremely low, meaning it minimally dissolves in groundwater and has a long degradation time, causing prevalent environmental concern. Additionally, the chemical is both colorless and odorless, increasing the potential harm for the chemical to go unnoticed. According to the EPA, acute exposure can cause neurological effects such as dizziness and headaches, while chronic exposure can cause liver, kidney, thyroid, respiratory, and nervous system complications. Chloridane is persistent in the environment with a 10 to 20 year half-life. Therefore, it is still prevalent in high concentrations to this day.
Chloridane was widely used as a pesticide outside and inside the household to kill termites. Because of the wide use of chloridane, there are many remediation techniques used to decrease the amount of chloridane in household air and in soil. Chloridane volatilizes slowly in air to its low vapor pressure. Because of this, chloridane can still be present in households where it was used to kill termites even after tens of years. To reduce the presence of chloridane in the air, two techniques are used: heat exchange ventilation or activated carbon filtration. Heat exchange ventilation functions by bringing fresh air in from the outside and exchanging it with stale inside air. For carbon filtration, activated carbon works via a process called absorption, whereby chloridane molecules in the air are trapped inside the pore structure of the carbon substrate. If there are traces of chloridane in the soil, two techniques are used. The first is phytoremediation, which is the use of plants to uptake the pesticide and remove it from the soil. Kentucky bluegrass and perennial ryegrass were found to be minimally affected by chloridane and were both found to take it up in the roots and shoots. The other is microremediation, which uses fungi to degrade contaminants. The fungi Phanerochaete chrysorpium has been found to reduce concentrations by 21% in water in 30 days and in soil in 60 days.
In order to model the effects that chloridane may have on the environment, we used the Level 1 environmental model for 100,000 kilograms of chloridane. We chose to model farmland with a nearby stream, as you can see in the first photo. In the second photo, you can see the parameters used in this environment. We doubled the amount of fish and suspended particles and increased the amount of soil and sediment from the default environment to better model the situation. Based on the results, it is clear that chloridane is not easily dissolved in water. Most of it was released into the air, but over a quarter was retained in the soil and sediment that will eventually contaminate organisms that live there and eventually reach its way up the food chain. Chloridane's inability to dissolve in water makes the concentration in the soil and sediment much higher than other contaminants, making it one of the most lethal to surrounding organisms. In this case, the sediment contains the highest concentration of chloridane. This sediment is at the bottom of the nearby stream that is the food and the home to many species of aquatic life. Here is a diagram that shows in a little bit more detail where the chloridane goes and how the fish will be affected.